Do you know how many propositions are on the ballot right now?
For the state, probably 15 or a good number, 15, 20 in that range.
Very close. It's 17.
17.
20?
I think it's something like 17. There's a lot of them.
That's exactly the number.
Oh gosh, I don't know how many there are, but I know what a lot of them are.
Did you vote on?
Oh god, a boatload. 17, I think, 16 or 17.
Yeah, that's the number.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
61? I don't know if they go for each one. I don't know how many statewide propositions, no.
There's 17.
A lot. I know my ballot is there's like 4 sheets, front and back to vote.
Yeah.
I voted for all of them, actually, and the numbers not specifically remembering, but I remember the concepts and what I voted for. I don't.
Okay, have you this year?
I don't, no. But I'll read up on it before I vote on Tuesday.
National or local?
For the statewide.
For the state, I think it's like 12 or something.
Okay, yeah. One that you feel particularly strongly about?
No, I'm a pretty balanced voter.
Okay. Can you name 2 that you're interested in?
I don't remember the exact proposition number, but the legalization of marijuana and the plastic bag ban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is pretty popular.
Yeah. And there's the grants for the schools and other ones. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't remember, to be honest.
Was there any initiative on the ballot that you felt passionate about?
Well, probably not really. About the proposition that they did for the people that live in the streets with the tents. So I really like the program that the city is doing it. So they have bus for 24 hours. So if in 24 hours they don't move, they will help them to find a shelter for them. So that was pretty much the only one that I really like. And I vote no for Proposition 61 as well.
And there's none that you've heard about?
None come to mind. I've never was good at quizzes. That's why I think it was very wrong to put the vice president, somebody was running for office and they put them, it was one of the independent guys. They kind of put him on the spot. There are certain ways in which our educational system is totally deficient, and it's not really analyzing your intellect. It's just trying to catch you out, and then it demeans you.
One of them, I guess 2 of them pertain to plastic bags at the grocery store. One of them pertains to legalization of marijuana, and a lot of them are just asking for our money.
There is the cigarette tax proposal, and there is also, I can actually name a few, death penalty is up, pot.
Which one are you most passionate about?
I am most passionate about the one that has no impact whatsoever, but it's California's rejection of Citizens United.
Okay.
There's Prop 61, which I know is getting the drugs prescription drugs, Proposition 61. There's a homeless proposition for...
I think they want to, the soda tax for the entire state, not just Berkeley. I don't know what number that is, but that's one of the props.
Soda tax, and then tent encampments for the city of San Francisco. The marijuana thing, of course. I think everyone's...
And which proposition are you guys most passionate about?
I don't know yet, to be honest. I haven't...
So I actually think that we should allow camps, or not camps, but tent cities in the city. So I'm pretty passionate, I guess, about that proposition.
You don't want them getting kicked off the street?
No, I don't.
There was one about condoms. There's one about weed. There's a couple about death penalty. There was a few about on the state level. Yeah, those are the ones.
And which proposition do you feel most passionate about?
I'm not sure if I should disclose that. It's a little personal. So I'll tell you the most heated one. The heated one that came up with me and my friends was about death penalty. So, I grew up in Alabama, which was traditionally very Republican, and also grew up in China, so I kind of have a different perspective on Republican versus Democratic view of death penalty. There's a majority of the people being here are diehard Democrat, very against death penalty, and there's another group that's kind of pro for a couple of reasons. One being they don't like the idea that it's off the table, that there's some crimes that are, just extremely heinous. And then secondly, there's not a good solution for what to do with the death row inmates if they're not going to be put to death, right? And there's talks about putting them in solitary confinement, which is really cruel and unusual punishment, or putting them with the general populace of prisoners, which is also bad because there's a lot of violence would break out. So that one was very contentious among my friends.
Legalizing California weed legalization, and something to do with prescription drugs. That's about it.
Is there one that you're most passionate about?
No, none of them.
The state initiatives?
Statewide initiatives.
You should definitely vote no on 65 and yes on 67. Ban the plastic bags. Yeah, that's probably the one I'm most passionate about.
Absolutely no idea.
Do you know about any of the propositions that we're voting for?
I know the legalization of marijuana. I know the soda tax, and that's because I had a conversation with somebody about both those this morning, and that's all that I know.
To do with legalizing marijuana, and one has to do with the allocation of emergency funds, whether the locals are in control or not. Those are the two I remember right off the bat.
And is there one that you're most passionate about of the statewide propositions?
I'm not real passionate about any of them, but I feel strongly about some of them.
Is there one in particular?
I'd rather not discuss that.
No problem.
One of the ones that I was most interested in was the one that was repealing the Something Hawkins Act to help. I started with Something Hawkins Act that's repealing what's happening especially the East Bay and San Francisco, that has to do with the rent prices and how landlords and landowners they can maintain their same price for their properties, but up as much as they want to the market value for the renters, which is pricing people out of their communities. And so that one was, I forgot what proposition it was, but I know that is really important to vote for or against it. You have to read up on it, but that one, and then also the grocery tax I thought was important too on sodas, just to have people start eating healthier and all that good stuff. Even though there is a double-edged sword to that, and it can be bad for local community store owners, but at the same time, hopefully they won't raise prices on everything else, and it's only will be bad for the big corporations.
And do you know where the tax collected from that proposition will be going?
It was unsaid, but what they think that it should be going to is towards education, but I'm not quite sure if that's accurate or if I can trust where the tax will be going. Unfortunately, I don't really trust the government that much, to be honest, so voting in this election was really difficult for me. Yeah.
And do you know how many statewide propositions are on the ballot?
I don't.
Okay. Have you heard about any of them at all?
No. I still have to do all my research.
Okay. So have you ever met any of your local politicians out on the street?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, cool. Who was that?
Jane Kim. I do a lot of different volunteering stuff, and I'm a big proponent of Ban the Box.
Cool. Let's see, really simple, fun question. Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, who do you think would be a better dancer?
I don't want to imagine either of them dancing, but if Hillary wants to dance with me, I would love that.
Perhaps Trump, perhaps. But it might be close. I don't think any of them would be an outstanding dancer by any means.
I would say Clinton, Trump is too much mouth, in my humble opinion, I'm nobody to judge nobody. But, both are not good dancers right now. I prefer Bernie, but rather than Hillary and Trump, I will go for Hillary, 100%.
Better dancer. Oh gosh, neither. Shoes. I don't know. I can't. Probably Trump. As much as I hate to say, I feel like he's got a more boisterous personality. So you'd be a better dancer.
I would. I think Hillary's too uptight to be a good answer. Neither of them are going to be good.
Hillary Clinton.
A better dancer. You know, Donald Trump did have a couple of TV shows. I don't like the man, but he might have some moves, you know. But Hillary, she seems like she can be groovy, so I'm going to have to say Hillary.
That's a good question. I'm probably going to say Donald Trump because he spent more time in the celebrity limelight. At least more comical. I've seen some of Hillary's like shimmies, and it wasn't that impressive.
Definitely Donald Trump. I think that's a no-brainer right there, because Hillary, I think she's got something in her leg to keep her standing straight.
And,
I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube, so.
They're both 70 years old, but I think Hillary probably would be. She wouldn't be as good as Michelle Obama. She's pretty damn good.
Hillary Clinton. Because I just think she's better at everything.
I don't know. I think they'd both be really funny, but I don't know.
It's awful to think about. I guess Trump would dance more beautifully than Clinton would, because beautiful is a key word in his vocabulary. So I'll give it to Trump. Yeah, I think so.